Welcome back to the Genesis Blueprint, where we explore timeless principles for education, leadership, and nation building through the stories of Genesis. Today's question is one that has shaped the way many people think about leadership. What did God really mean when He gave humanity dominion over the earth? For many people, dominion simply means power. But before we reach that conclusion, let's first observe the pattern presented in Genesis. Notice the sequence. Before God entrusted humanity with dominion, He first created light. He brought about order where there had been chaos. He established boundaries. He appointed the sun and the moon to govern. He prepared the land. He filled it with vegetation and living creatures. Only after preparing the environment did He create humanity and give them dominion. That sequence is worth thinking about. Now let's move from observation to application. Here's one principle we can draw from this pattern and consider applying to leadership and nation building. Responsibility comes before authority. Perhaps that's why dominion is best understood not simply as power but as stewardship. Think about a gardener. A gardener doesn't simply enjoy the beauty of a garden. He waters it, removes the weeds, and protects it from harm. He leaves it healthier than he found it. That is stewardship. Think about parents. Good parents don't use authority to dominate their children. They use it to guide, protect, correct, and prepare them for adulthood. Think about teachers. A teacher's success isn't measured by how many students fear them. It is measured by how many students they prepare to think, solve problems, and contribute to society. Leadership follows this same principle. A leader should ask, how much power do I have? A leader should ask, how much responsibility has been entrusted to me? Now, let's apply this to nation building. Imagine if public office were viewed primarily as stewardship instead of privilege. Imagine if leaders saw national resources as trust to be managed wisely for future generations. Imagine if citizens also saw themselves as stewards, keeping their communities clean, protecting public property, contributing honestly to society, helping build the kind of nation they hope to live in. Healthy nations don't depend only on responsible leaders. They also depend on responsible citizens. Leadership and citizenship are partnerships. Both require stewardship. Perhaps that's one lesson this pattern invites us to consider. The order of Genesis reminds us that God prepared, organized, and entrusted. Maybe that's a model worth reflecting on. Perhaps true leadership is not measured by the authority we possess. Perhaps it is measured by how faithfully we care for what has been entrusted to us. Let me leave you with this thought. Power asks, what can I gain? Stewardship asks, what can I build, protect, and live better than I found it? If more leaders ask the second question, perhaps our homes, organizations, and nations will look very different. Thank you for joining me on the Genesis Blueprint. In our next episode, we'll explore another fascinating question. Why did God rest on the seventh day? Until then, remember, a nation's greatest resource is not what lies beneath its soil, but what has been cultivated within its people.